I came here to the King's College in New York City because in many ways it's an expression of the Reformed worldview of which we've just been speaking. We have here three majors. Politics, philosophy, and economics is one major, business is a second, and then media, culture, and the arts is a third major. So we don't have a religion major as such. We have courses. We have theology courses sprinkled through the curriculum. And we have, I think, a very vibrant spiritual life among students. But we want students to take that and then learn how to apply it to all these different subjects. So we tend to have very bright students who come here, and we emphasize a lot engagement with Manhattan. That's why we're here. And it's very different having a college in Midtown Manhattan than a college located on a pretty campus out in the countryside and relatively sequestered from the world. And there was a King's College that started in the late 1930s and continued through the early 90s that was like the typical college with a campus somewhat separated from the city. And King's went through some changes in the 90s that led to the Board of Trustees at the end of the decade deciding, I think in a very gutsy way, to sell the pretty campus on which King's was located and take out a long-term lease in the Empire State Building, which runs through 2012, in order to try to be salty right here in Midtown Manhattan. And it makes a huge difference in a college when you're here. I mean, we try to have all of our courses integrate city life into the courses, and we try to have the students learning from the courses primarily, but also from just going around Manhattan. And what brought me here particularly a couple of years ago was really the sense that in some ways King's College was repeating the story of Jesus in a certain way, that Jesus left the most beautiful campus imaginable, heaven, to come into the muck and mire of Nazareth and Jerusalem and Bethlehem and so forth. And he did that for God's glory and human flourishing. King's College left a beautiful campus to follow in Christ's steps into the city, into the muck and mire of New York. And sometimes this is a hard place. We have students who are very bright and very hardworking and also very gutsy because they're living in apartment buildings with other New Yorkers. We don't have a campus cafeteria. They have to forage for their own food. And they have to put up with a lot of stuff, but that's the nature of the world. And that's what we're called to be. And in the process of being challenged, I think they also learn the full enjoyment of being Christians in a world that desperately needs Christ. So I'm here for that reason, the students are here for that reason, and we are expanding rapidly at this point because there's a huge demand for this type of intelligent and thoughtful, but also challenging and hard engagement with cities.